All right, thanks, guys. The Gators take on Miami. That's going to be a 7 o'clock Eastern kickoff on August 24th. The Gators are -7, totals 47. We did see a half a point fade of Florida in the early wagering. We also saw a little bit of movement downward on the total. The Gators open 7.5 down to -7. Total open 50.5 down to 47 flat. 51% of the consensus is leaning toward Florida, 54% shaded toward the under, and right now the Hurricanes of Miami are plus 230 on the money line. This game is being played at Camping World Stadium in Florida. The Gators are ranked number 8th in the country right now. I think the Gators should be able to get the job done here. Give me Florida -7 and the under 47 points in that game. And before we go ahead and move on, just want to take a quick timeout and welcome you to the show. Got some lines of personal leans out for week 1 of college football 2019. But before we go ahead and dive into some more of that, I just want to quickly remind you to check me out on my website at patreon.com/BrockPage. We do daily plays on that site. They range anywhere between 2 to 5 premium plays per day. There's a bunch of different memberships and packages that you can subscribe to, and they begin at just $1.99 per month. There's also plenty of free content there as well. Check me out on patreon.com/BrockPage. Link for that site is in the description section below. All right, let's go ahead and dive into some more Week 1 college football action. All starts Eastern Standard Time, and on deck we've got Florida A&M taking on UCF, 7:30 Eastern kickoff on August 29th. UCF is -45.5, total 64.5. Not a whole lot of movement in this one. We saw a little bit of movement upward on the total, but once again, UCF open and remains -45.5. Total open 64 up to 64.5. 73% of the consensus is leaning toward the Knights. 89% shaded toward the over. Right now, UCF is ranked 17th in the country. I think this is going to be an absolute blowout. Give me UCF -45.5 and the over 73 in that game. Next matchup, Georgia Tech, Clemson. 8 o'clock Eastern kickoff on August 29th. The Tigers of Clemson -35.5, totals at 59. We did see a 2.5 point move toward Clemson and movement downward on the total. The Tigers open -33 up to -35.5. Total open 60.5 down to 59. 66% are leaning Clemson. 72% shaded toward the over. Right now, Georgia Tech is plus 7,500 on the money line, depending on where you're looking. Clemson, number 1 ranked team in the country. Having said that, Georgia Tech, they run a lot. They have that slow, methodical, slow-paced offense. They're going to keep it close. I like Georgia Tech plus 35.5 and the under 66 points in that game. Next matchup, Texas State, Texas A&M, 8:30 Eastern kickoff on August 29th. Texas A&M -34.5, total 57. We saw movement toward Texas A&M and movement upward on the total. The Aggies open 33.5 up to -34.5. Total open 55 up to 57. 67% are leaning Texas A&M, 91% shaded toward the over. Right now, Texas State is plus 8,500 on the money line. The Aggies of Texas A&M are ranked number 11 in the country right now. I'm going to lean Aggies -34.5 and the over 57 in that game. Next matchup, Utah, BYU, 10:15 Eastern kickoff on August 29th. Utah's -5, totals 48.5. We saw a 2-point fade of Utah and movement upward on the total. The Utes open -7 down to -5, total open 47 up to 48.5. 64% are leaning Utah, 73% shaded toward the under. Right now, the Cougars of BYU are plus 210 on the money line. Right now, Utah, they are the 15th ranked team in the country. I really like them in this spot here. Give me Utah -5 and the under 48.5 in that game. Next matchup, Tulsa, Michigan State, 7 o'clock Eastern kickoff on August 30th. Michigan State's -22.5, totals 47. We saw a 2.5 point move toward Michigan State and movement upward on the total. Spartans open -20 up to 22.5, total open 46.5 up to 47. 58% are leaning Tulsa, 85% shaded toward the over. Right now, Tulsa's plus 1050 on the money line. Michigan State is ranked 20th in the country. I like them to get the job done here. Give me Sparty minus 22.5 and the over 47 in that game. Next matchup, Wisconsin, USF, 7 o'clock, August 30th. Wisconsin's minus 14.5, totals 57. We saw a 5-point move toward the Badgers and movement downward on the total. Wisconsin opened 9.5 all the way up to 14.5. Total opened 57.5 down to 57 even. 65% are leaning Wisconsin, 78% shaded toward the under. Right now the Bulls are plus 315 on the money line. I think they should keep it close here. I'm going to lean USF plus 14.5 and the under 57 in that game. Next matchup, FAU taking on Ohio State, 12 o'clock Eastern kickoff on August 31st. The Buckeyes are minus 27, total 63.5. We saw a 3-point move toward the Buckeyes and movement upward on the total. Ohio State opened 24, up to minus 27. Total open 63, up to 63.5. 68% are leaning Ohio State, 86% shaded toward the over. Right now, Florida Atlantic plus 28.75 on the money line. Right now, the Buckeyes are ranked number 5 in the country. They normally start slow. I don't like them to cover here. I'm going to lean FAU plus 27 in the over 63.5 in that game. Next matchup, Northern Iowa taking on Iowa State, 12 o'clock Eastern kickoff on August 31st. The Cyclones of Iowa State are minus 18.5. No total posted as of yet. Iowa State is ranked 24th in the country. I think they should get the job done here. Give me Iowa State minus 18.5. Getting the job done against the number. All right, next game, Eastern Washington at Washington, 3 o'clock kickoff, 8:31. No line currently posted for this game. Washington is ranked number 12. I'm going to lean Washington Huskies, winning that one outright for some money line cash. Next game, Duke, Alabama, 3:30 kickoff, 8:31. Bama, minus 34.5, total 58. Saw a 4.5-point move toward the Crimson Tide and a 4.5-point move downward on the total. Alabama open minus 30, up to 34.5. Total open 62.5, down to 58. This game is being played at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. 73% are leaning Alabama, 62% shaded toward the over. Right now, Duke is plus 54.75 on the money line, depending on what poll you're looking at. Bama's the number 1 team in the country. I'm going to lean Alabama minus 34.5 and the over 58 in that game. Next matchup, Idaho taking on Penn State, 3:30 Eastern kickoff at Beaver Stadium, August 31st. No line currently posted for this game. Penn State should get the job done. Give me the Nittany Lions, winning that one outright for some money line cash. Next game, Northwestern taking on Stanford, 4 o'clock Eastern kickoff at Stanford Stadium on August 31st. Stanford's minus 6.5, totals 49. We did see a 0.5-point fade of Stanford and movement downward on the total. The Cardinal open minus 7 down to 6.5. Total open 50 down to 49. 55% are leaning Stanford, 70% shaded toward the under. Right now, Northwestern is plus 215 on the money line. I'm going to lean Stanford in this spot here. Give me the Cardinal minus 6.5 and the under 49 in that game. Next matchup, Syracuse, Liberty, 6 o'clock at Liberty, August 31st. Syracuse is ranked number 22 in the country right now. They're minus 17.5 in this matchup here with the total at 66. We did see a 1-point move toward the orange and movement upward on the total. Syracuse open 16.5 up to minus 17.5. Total open 65.5 up to 66 even. 65% are leaning Syracuse, 87% shaded toward the over. Right now, Liberty is plus 650 on the money line. I think Syracuse should get the job done in this spot here. Give me Syracuse minus 17.5 and the over 66 in that game. Next matchup, Georgia Bulldogs taking on Vanderbilt, 8:31 Eastern kickoff. 7:30 Eastern 7:30 Eastern kickoff on 8:31. That's August 31st. UGA is ranked number 3 in the country, and they're minus 21. Totals at 57.5. We did see a 1.5 point move toward Georgia and movement upward on the total. The Bulldogs open 19.5 up to -21. Total open 57 up to 57.5. Right now, Vanderbilt is plus 850 on the money line. I think the Bulldogs are going to smoke these guys. Give me Georgia -21 and the under 57.5 in that game. Next matchup, Georgia Southern, LSU, 7:30 on August 31st. LSU's ranked number 6. They're -27.5 with the total at 53. We saw a 2-point move toward the Tigers. No movement on the total as of yet. LSU open 25.5 up to 27.5. Total open 53 and remains at 53. Georgia Southern is plus 1750 on the money line. Give me LSU -27.5 and the over 53 in that game. Next matchup, Miami, Ohio taking on Iowa, 7:30 Eastern kickoff on August 31st. Iowa is ranked 19th in the country. They're -21.5 with the total at 49.5. No movement on the spread as of yet. Pretty good two-way action there. We did see a little bit of movement downward on the total. So once again, Iowa open and remains -21.5. Total open 50 down to 49.5. Right now, Miami, Ohio is plus 1130 on the money line. I think Miami, Ohio keeps this one close. Give me Miami, Ohio plus 21.5 and the under 49.5 in that game. Next matchup, Middle Tennessee taking on Michigan, 7:30 Eastern kickoff on August 31st. Michigan's -33.5, totals 54. No movement on the total as of yet. We did see a 3.5 point move toward Michigan. They open -30 up to 33.5. Total open and remains at 54. Right now, Middle Tennessee is plus 42.50 on the money line. This should be a blowout. Give me Michigan -33.5 and the over 54 in that game. Next matchup, Oregon, Auburn, 7:30 Eastern kickoff on August 31st. Auburn's ranked 16th, Oregon ranked 13th. But the Auburn Tigers are -3 in this matchup here with the total at 57. Now, we did see a 0.5 point fade of Auburn in the early wagering. We did see movement downward on the total as well. As a matter of fact, it was a 2-point move downward on the total. Once again, Auburn open 3.5 down to -3. Total open 59 down to 57. Right now, Oregon's plus 115 on the money line. This game is being played at AT&T Stadium. Once again, Oregon ranked 13th, Auburn ranked 16th. Auburn is favored in this one. I think Auburn should get the job done. Give me the Tigers -3 and the under 57 in that game. Next matchup, Louisiana Tech taking on the Longhorns of Texas. Speaking of which, rest in peace to Cedric Benson, who was just listed as passing away today. So rest in peace and prayers for him and his family. But anyway, Texas, they're the number 10th ranked team in the country right now. Number 10. And they are -21 with the total of 55. We saw a 3-point move toward Texas and movement upward on the total. The Longhorns open -18 up to -21. Total open 54.5 up to 55. Right now, LA Tech, La Tech, Louisiana Tech is plus 900 on the money line. Doesn't really matter. Give me the Longhorns -21 and the over 55 in that game. And we're going to slide in our next and final game for the show. It is going to be New Mexico State taking on Washington State. 10 o'clock Eastern kickoff on August 31st. Washington State is -32.5. Totals at 64.5. We did see a slight fade of Washington State and movement upward on the total. The Cougars open 34 down to 32.5. Total open 64 up to 64.5. Right now, New Mexico State is plus 8,000 on the money line. Blowout. Give me Washington State -32.5 and the over 64.5 in that game. All right, guys, that's going to do it for me. Once again, college football is here. Best of luck to you. I think it's going to be a great season. We're going to have a lot of fun, get a lot of winners, a lot of picks, a lot of leans. But anyway, before I get out of here, got to remind you to check me out on my website at patreon.com/BrockPage. Once again, we do daily plays on that site. It ranges anywhere between 2 and 5 premium picks per day. Those are my personal plays. Those are games that I personally have action on. Really, really cool site. So check me out, patreon.com/BrockPage. There's plenty of free content there as well. The link for that site is in the description section below. But most importantly, I got to thank you for watching this free program right here on YouTube. I really hope you enjoyed all this free content, all this great free information. I certainly enjoy producing it for you. So with that said, best of luck to you in week 1 of college football. Football's back. It's finally here. And don't forget to check me out on patreon.com/BrockPage.